Hello, 6th graders. Welcome to Big Ideas Math, 7th grade math, section 1.4, multiplying integers activity. Pause while you write section 1.4 activity in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's activity objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is to multiply integers with the same or different signs using a number line. Today we'll be starting on page 15 in your record and practice journal. Mine looks a little bit different because it's from the textbook, but it's exactly the same. It's just in color. So let's start with activity 1, multiplying integers with the same sign. It says work with a partner. Use repeated addition to find 3 times 2. So that's a 3 times a positive 2. And we're going to remember that multiplication is repeated addition. So that's something that we haven't really thought about for a while because you just know your multiplication tables. So 3 times 2 means to add 3 groups of 2. So when you see it on a number line, it looks like this. You start at 0 and you add 2 3 times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So it's 2 plus 2 plus 2. And so 3 times 2 equals 2 plus 2 plus 2, which we all know equals 6. So 3 times 2 equals 6. So when you multiply integers with the same sign, they are positive. Your answer is positive. If you have 2 integers, your answer is going to be positive. If you multiply integers with different signs, we're going to find out what happens. So we're going to multiply 3 times negative 2. So we're going to add 3 groups of negative 2. So you do the same thing you did in the first activity, only you're adding groups of negative 2. So you start at 0 and you go the other direction on the number line. So you go negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2, and you end up at negative 6. So 3 times negative 2 equals negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2, which equals negative 6. So when you have 2 integers and they have different signs, your answer is going to be negative. So let's take a look at activity 3. We're using a table to find negative 3 times 2. So it says describe the pattern of products in the table. So when we had 2 positive integers, we had a positive answer. So a positive times a positive equals a positive. And that was the same with the next one. 1 times 2 is 2, and 0 times 2, of course, is 0. So that doesn't change. And then if we have negative 1 times 2, if we drew that on a number line, it would be, you would have your 0, and you would go negative 1 2 times, so negative 1, and then negative 1 again would put you at negative 2, so it would be negative 1 and negative 1 again, negative 1, which would put you at negative 2. So all you're doing is multiplying the numbers as normal, and then if the 2 numbers have different signs, then your answer is negative. If they have the same sign, then your answer is positive. So a positive times a negative, or a negative times a positive, is going to give you a negative answer. So we'll write that both ways. good idea to write that in your notebook so you have it. You are going to work on this yourself as your assignment for this activity. So your assignment for tonight is to complete the last 2 blanks in the table in Activity 3, Record and Practice Journal, page 15. Show your work and be prepared to share during our next class. Please remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You need to complete your exit slip back at the website. You also need to come to our next class prepared with the journal pages that we did during the flipped lesson or any other work that we did for the flipped lesson completed. You also need to be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed, and be ready with any questions you have for your teacher, and as always, have a good attitude. We'll see you tomorrow in class. Remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You must complete your exit slip. You must come to our next class prepared with your journal pages or any other work that we did during the flipped lesson completed, and you need to be prepared with any work that was assigned during the flipped lesson completed. Be prepared with any questions you have about the content of the flipped lesson and a good attitude. We'll see you in class tomorrow.